So, bad news first. I just tried an experiment for the last 20-minute recording clip. I figured worst case scenario I end up with bad quality. Try to fix the lag. Instead, I ended up with a 10 gigabyte file that had the most choppy vids I've ever seen, and none of the audio recorded. Bottom line, it was beyond unusable. It was more along the lines of unsalvageable. So, not really a hell of a lot I could do. Unfortunately, that means that you guys don't get to see what I did for the last couple days in Don't Starve. So I'm going to fill you in from the map, and then we'll get on with the game. And hopefully that will be good enough. Eventually, I explored some more. I found a couple more wormholes that took me back to this area. So I triggered I would then go meet up with the Pig King, because I happened to be around that area for the night. I gave him the remainder of the meat that I had from the co-elephant that I killed yesterday, and he gave me gold nuggets in exchange. With that, I set up a science machine and grabbed a shovel, and have utilized that shovel to accumulate these saplings and these berry bushes that I replanted near my base back on the east side of the map. I've also begun trying to craft... Oh, I also put up a second science machine here. I've also begun trying to craft a specific higher level clothing item that you can only make with the co-elephant trunk, which, as you can see, has already begun to rot on me. But all that said, things are going pretty darn well for me right now. It may be day 6, I'm a couple days behind the curve, but I have a working base, I have a lot of meat available to me, clearly, and I've got these beefalo just south of my base for easy manure access, and a renewable source of gold with the pig all the way on the west. All in all, I'm not feeling bad about this start at all. It's a pretty good start. Ooh, a second path. Interesting. There's in fact no real urgency in this co-elephant thing either. Even if I never get to make it, it was a bonus to begin with that I would find a co-elephant so early in the game. Usually I'm more concerned about it pre-winter, and winter doesn't come in this game till the 20th day or so. One of the items that you guys didn't get to see me make was a shovel. A shovel lets you dig up saplings, like so. You can also dig up grass tufts to relocate them, though I am not that concerned about my grass situation yet, since I'm living in a grassland and I have, you know, as much grass as I possibly could need. So instead, I'm just harvesting up all the surrounding saplings and taking them to my base. Also, when you dig a sapling up, you get one of the twigs, which is nice. Alright. So, key things that at this point I'm most concerned about. I would like better defense. That would be my... In Don't Starve, the goal of the game is always food. Long-term goal is always food and stability of your food. Otherwise, you know, you starve, and if you starve, you die. That and safety and shelter are kind of nice. So, I would like to see, long-term, I would like to see myself wearing some armor. Oh, yay, more spiders. Spiders are a great way to get good drops. I would like to see myself with better sources of food than just raw rabbits to cook. And that means farmland, and that means a cooking pot. So let's do as if I don't know what I'm doing. Oh wow, I spent the whole day just gathering nothing. That sucks. Let's drop some saplings here real quick before it becomes too dark for me to see what I'm doing. And you'll see I've got a nice little patch of berry bushes up above my base, and saplings now here underway. Fire just went out. Boo-hoo. Actually, looking at the sliver of night, it's going to be a very short night. I might just get through it with a torch. Things I'm going to want. I'm going to want a log suit. That's a very good defensive structure, or defensive armor. Let's go ahead and learn how to make rope and boards, because those are important skills to know long term. Cut stone is going to be useful pretty soon. Oh, a backpack. I can't believe I didn't get that yet. Now I have 8 more slots for carrying stuff, which is awesome. Straw roll to sleep the night in, not that important yet. Food, that's what I want. Okay, I want farms, which are going to require stone. I want a bee box I can wait on. I would like a drying rack, which will only require rope, and lots of it. Rope is made out of grass, and I have lots of grass. So let's go ahead and make myself a drying rack really quickly. I'd like a crock pot, but that requires cut stone, which requires a lot of basic stone. Here's a drying rack. We'll set it up northeast of the base. This being the core of the base. You can put meat on a drying rack, and over time it will turn into jerky, and jerky gives you a fair modicum of both health as well as food. So that's a good all-around item to have. This koalefant trunk is going to rot at the rate it's going, and there's nothing I can do about it. How hard would it be to make a second drying rack? Not that bad, I just need a bunch of rope. As long as I can commit to picking at least a little more grass before I leave tomorrow, I should be able to get that made right now. What I'm thinking is I'm not going to be able to make the koalefant suit in time, so at the very least I can put it on a drying rack and get meat value out of it. Oops, too dark, need a light. Don't want to eat, and apparently it can't be put on the drying rack, so we're just going to cook it and eat it. It doesn't matter if it was stale, it should be just fine once it's cooked. Massive health value, massive value for my hunger, all back to full. Okay. My sanity lowers by being in such dark conditions, but I don't really care. My sanity is pretty good to begin with. Let's grab a few more tufts of grass and then plan a route. I'd say that we've done a fair job looking east-west. Let's start going... You can see a wall here and a wall here. Wall here. I guess that that's partially walls, so we're just going to try and push north next time. Maybe from this wormhole position. I don't know. We'll see. Because I need a better source of... I do need a better source of cut stone. I'm going to need a lot of stone. And I've only found like 5 or 6 sundry boulders nearby, which is enough to set up my single first farm, but that's really about it. Maybe a first crock pot. I have a fairly good stomach status. I'm not hungry, and I have tons of rabbits waiting for me when I come back. So, you don't have to worry about acute starvation issues. Let's head north. And of course, on the way, we're never going to stop plucking the saplings as we go, so that we can eventually, you know, bring them all back to base. I now have 8 new inventory slots. Alright, another corner of the world. Let's make sure that that gets documented on my map so I'm not tempted to come back here again. Alright, cool. We do need wood as well. I'm very fairly low on wood. Actually, I don't have any wood, I just have the boards. What that means to me is if I don't find a spot by tomorrow, I'll set up a campfire in the middle of a forest and chop down a lot of trees. Ooh, did we come here already? I haven't seen this ring. Yay! It is the second game-winning item out of 5. Not bad at all. Considering that I've done nothing but wander so far. I haven't actually set up a base yet. Well, I guess I have started to set up a base. It doesn't feel like a base, though, because there's no renewable source of food waiting. Just 12 rabbits. Which, I guess, is a renewable food source of a kind. I'm not as big a fan of transplanting grass because it requires you to re-fertilize it to make it active, and that's a bit of a pain. I guess, considering that I have such an easy beefalo access this game, it's not going to be as big a pain as I'm used to. But also, you know, I live in a grassland. It's not like I'm at a dearth of grass quite yet. Then again, I'm not exactly going to come back this way to pick grass, so these grass buds are useless to me out here. They're a lot more useful to me back by my base. Let's pick them as we go. I promised northward. Northward I shall trek. Full sanity. Inventing stuff helps your sanity, so in the early game it's a good way to buoy your sanity up for a little while. Okay, and I'm just eating berries as I go to keep my hunger satiated while exploring. Always interested in hitting stray spiders for their potential resources. They can hit me for damage and sanity loss, but they also drop a lot of spider bladders, so, you know, can just heal that up. And if you know what you're doing when you fight, or you have a good weapon like a spear, you can just counter. Oh, my shovel apparently broke. Nice thing about the science machine is you only need to be near it the first time you build something. After that, you memorize the recipe. Unlike, say, a crafting station in Terraria or Minecraft, as I understand, where you always have to be standing near the appropriate crafting station. I should have learned to craft a new spear before I left, just in case this one runs out. Okay, we have now covered a lot of the northern border with no success. Let us attempt south. Again, what we're looking for is a large collection of rocks. Okay, we're kind of heading through the middle of a lot of bees now. Someday I'm going to have to come back here, break some beehives open, steal the honeycombs, and make my own beehives, but not today. Not today. Ooh, a pig stone. This... Excuse me. This counts as a second life. Oh, excuse me. If you die and come back... if you die, you will be resurrected adjacent to the pig stone with none of your health. Or, sorry, with none of your items. Half health, half sanity. But it is a way to cheat permadeath. Unlike Crawl, which is... To say it's limited in the number of ways is disingenuous, since it makes it sound like there are a few ways. Really, the closest you get is the Felid race having multiple lives, and even there, it's more of a gimmick than a genuine death cheat. In this game, you can totally build reliable ways to cheat death, and it's kind of honestly a welcome change of pace for those of you who are more used to the incredible difficulty of Crawl. Okay, this looks like a graveyard biome, which has lots of stray gold, and I totally intend to pick a lot of it up, make no mistake. These gravestones are diggable for resources. Unfortunately, they're mostly not resources I'm interested in right now. And they can also produce a ghost, which will chase you, lower your sanity, and attack you. I'm not really in the mood for fighting a ghost. That's what I'm in the mood for. A mining rock. Let's, whip out ye old mining tool, which I have to craft, and then start mining. It's also getting awfully dark, so I'm going to have to plan for the night very soon. Let's eat the berries to free up an inventory slot. Oh, it looks like this was just an isolated rock. Had my hopes up too. Oh well, we'll continue further south and see what greets us. We have at least a couple minutes before nightfall proper. There's another spelunker's hole. Ooh, second rock. And again, rocks give, these rocks that you break give a few things. They give rock, which is a resource that I most need right now. Flint, which is the resource you can use to construct your primary tools, including pickaxe and the hammer, and the ordinary axe and such. And if it looks like this, it's a gold rock, and it can also give you gold. It also gives you something called niter, which can be used to make dynamite somehow, but it's really a complicated recipe, and I've never made use of dynamite in a game before. Very rarely in this game will I need anything beyond my trusty spear. Okay, it's nighttime now, so we're gonna set up base camp right... What? What? I forgot to build... to get any wood, apparently, all day. We're gonna have to urgently cut some trees for wood and pray to God I can beat the... Oh, thank God I have a torch to spare. You idiot. Drop your other tools. This is more important. Okay, we're gonna throw up a campfire right now. Okay. Go ahead and grab the pickaxe that I dropped. Cook these seeds and eat them. Let's also cook the rabbits I'm carrying and eat them. And I'm not full yet, so let's cook the other rabbit. Okay, now I'm fairly full. I'm not full, but it's good enough. Do I have any grass tufts? Good. Throw a grass tuft on the fire to flare it up nice and proper. Oh wait, it's one of those mini nights. Well, let's get to work. I want all this shit in mind. Ideally, I should have enough gold by the time I leave to build the next tier of science invention, which is the alchemy engine. And yes, I do. I'll also have enough stone and such, so add it for a little bit longer. La 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 la. Now, places like this mine are occasionally home to certain species known as the tall bird, which is it's tall, it has big legs, so it chases pretty easily, and is very protective of its nest. Also, it can be found in large group nests, in which case it's not uncommon to see you being chased by many tall birds at once if you come dangerously close to their base. Let's go ahead and get that pickaxe up again and start mining. I want to leave with 2 stacks of stone. I have 1 full stack, and I'm working on the second as we speak. 80 stone should last me a good long time. Actually, there's a wormhole right here. I'm tempted to see where it leads. If it leads to some convenient spot, maybe I don't need to actually carry triple armfuls back. You know, maybe I can just come back here when I need more stone. That's a bit of a misphrasing. I'm gonna come here whenever I need stone, but it's quite a trek. So, it'll be good to see how much I can get away with. Now, yeah. If any of you have ever read Call of the Wild or Hatchet or similar survival storybooks, I'll be honest, I really get the sense of that when I play this game sometimes, especially as the seasons change and your clothing deteriorates, your clothing that was made of flowers to begin with, you know. It's kind of it gives a real roughing it feel. It's very satisfying. It's immensely satisfying to set up a base where you feel secure that you can live for a long time. Even when the game kind of gets farmy like this, like I'm just mining more and more rocks, it's so satisfying since I've been looking for these for 8 days, and now I finally find it and I'm not going to let it go. Okay. We're getting pretty close to the whole double arm full of rocks situation that I was talking about earlier. Because, yeah, I've pretty much maxed out a couple stacks here. I have 38 rocks, 40 rocks. That's good enough for the moment. Let's do a little bit more exploring just to confirm, yes, that this is indeed a massive, massive mine. And then we're going to head back through the wormhole. This is also why I wasn't particularly excited by 1 or 2 stray rocks here or there. Yeah, if I needed a farm urgently, I would totally use them. But no, there's no... Without the urgency, I know eventually I'm just going to be holding out till I find a spot like this anyway. Into the wormhole. Let's see where it leads. Just right after I get over... The other nice thing is it rewards my kleptomania. Oh, shit. It leads directly into the middle of a swamp. Swamps are immensely dangerous. They are home to some of the most dangerous enemies in the game. It might be worth my while to simply wormhole back, especially since, as you can see, the place I'm going to end up isn't exactly that much further from the place I left. Unless I can cross this distance, this wormhole will take me somewhere here, which is just a hell of a lot closer. It's a bit of a risk. Do I have a torch? Ah, hell, I feel lucky. And worst case scenario, I do have that extra life, though I hesitate to use it. If I keep... Nope! That right there kills you in 2 hits. Maybe a slight exaggeration. Slight. There's another one over there, another one over there. There's one I just walked over. You don't quite understand how harrowing it is to walk on the swamp until you've died to a tentacle beating you to death. Okay, I made it out of the swamp alive. Now, I can actually kill tentacles, don't get me wrong. I could kill a tentacle with nothing but a spear and undefended, if I was willing to risk my life with the timings. But at this point in the game, I'm not yet at the point where I securely am farming extra lives, which we'll get to later. So, I don't, as you guys are familiar with my playstyle from Crawl, I don't tend to make risks I don't have to. Unless I'm having a good time and just messing and just winging it, as it were. Let's, while we're still here, light a bunch of these trees on fire. And the reason I'm doing this is so that I can get the charcoal that they'll produce. But at the same time, I don't want to destroy an entire forest worth of trees right near my home base. I don't mind doing it this far away from my home base where it's not really going to affect me directly. And remember, with acorns, you can always grow a forest back. What am I going to ditch? What am I going to ditch? What am I going to ditch? I'm going to ditch the torch. It's not that important. And, of course, the seeds. Man, it got dark here. Actually, where is that torch? All of a sudden, I wish I had it. There we go. Now, I'm using the spacebar and holding it down to automatically seek out the next tree. And, of course, it gets distracted on every other item. You know what I'm going to do? If I could ditch something else. Ditch the spider meat. Could do this and this. Flash the torch on and off to preserve the amount of vitality the item has, but enough that I can get a quick look in the dark at where I'm going. Okay, that's close enough. Let's get out of here. Wormhole. And the reason I've been so blasé is because the wormhole literally transports me directly to my home base. Okay, metaphorically translates me almost directly to my home base. We're here now. Good. Let's chuck a sapling in the fire, light it up, and go ahead and power up my resource base. Do I still have enough crap? I have enough crap. Let's fertilize these bushes. I want them growing berries in no time. Get the saplings on. Okay, eat a flower, why not? Pick up all the remaining spider bladders and then drop them. Now, I believe I had enough science capability to build an alchemy engine? Almost? Yeah, right. I need to use the old engine, the science engine, to make cut stone, which I can then use to make an alchemy engine. For those of you who are familiar with the Terraria or Minecraft system, there are basically 3 tiers of crafting stations in this game. Alchemy engine would be the second. And of course, they all build everything the previous one builds. Ooh, let's go ahead and build myself a nice classy shovel, so I don't have to keep building new shovels all the time. Okay, I'm actually going to cut the recording here. It's day 9, and we'll continue from this point next time. Thank you all for watching.